circumcision helps prevent HPV and herpes. And now, is this really a study that needed a government grant? Like, is this really something that we should be spending our money on? Is it not obvious that dick cheese is unsanitary? Is that not something everyone gets? All right, I figured I'd start off with a crude one for the old folks in the front one. Yeah. Like that? Yeah, dick cheese. Yeah. So, welcome to Brantford. Well, none of our comedians here are from Brantford. Well, actually, I don't know where Marissa's from. Hamilton! Yeah, the Hammer. I'm also from Hamilton, so you guys suck.
Yeah, nice. Basically.
Well, I moved here when I was in grade 4, and in grade 5, back then you started taking French. And my French teacher was a little old Chinese woman. I didn't think anything of it at the time until I got to high school. In the first day of grade 9 French, they're going around the room and we're going to introduce ourselves in French. So they get to me and they're like, okay, introduce yourself. And I'm like, Je m'appelle Michael. And you're like, what? Comment t'appelles-tu? And you're like, what the fuck are you speaking? And I'm like, I learned French from a Chinese lady. I had no idea that's not the accent. But even worse, because when I got to high school, my grade 9 French teacher was a Japanese lady. But she didn't have an accent. She spoke fluent, right? And I didn't realize that... sorry, I totally forgot where I was going with that. Early onset Alzheimer's. Give it a hand. All right.
You're old.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very old.
Don't worry, all is forgotten.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Alzheimer's, right? All is forgotten. I like your shirt, by the way.
Thanks.
Are you a big Transformers fan?
Somewhat.
Yeah. Do you transform into a smaller guy when you take it off?
No.
Okay. Well, that's enough of me making a mess out of this. Let's bring up some real comedians now. Our first guy, he's a parasite. He's originally from here, but he lives in Paris now. Very funny guy. Bring him out. He's Brandon MacIntosh.
That's not the first time I've been called a parasite. It's just for other reasons. What's up, folks? You having a good night? Front row. No one ever sits in the front row. Thank you. Thanks for filling it in.
Forced to.
You were forced to?
Oh, yeah.
Did they buy you drinks?
No.
Well, get on that. Tell us.
Looks like now every seat's the front row.
You're probably looking at me and you're thinking, I know somebody who looks like this guy. Yeah, one of you. At least one of you. This is happening more and more, and it's getting out of hand. Like, everyone has to come up to me. Hey, I know someone who looks like you. I look like my cousin. Like, do you like hip-hop? You look like this hip-hop artist. Like, no, I don't. I look like a mistake your mom made in the 70s. That's what I look like. But it's getting really weird, because I left a Staples one time, and this guy's like, hey, Brandon. And I turn around to expect someone I know, and I don't know this man. And he's just like, hey, what's up? I'm like, sorry, do we know each other? He's like, dude, we worked at Kelsey's in the kitchen. And I'm just like, no. And I just walked out of there. But the guy's face when I left wasn't like, oh, I don't know that guy, I made a mistake. It was, I know that guy and he's being a huge asshole right now. It's like, I'm with my family. And I could have just like caught up with him. I ruined his day. But like, I've been doing this joke for a while, but it's like taking on a life of its own. Like, a girl came up to me after a show and she's like, oh my God. She's like, I fucked a guy who looked just like you. He was so bad. And I didn't know what to say, so I just apologized for like all of us, all the guys who look like me. We're just like, I didn't know I was so generic of a face. Like, you know, I feel like when they send that picture up in space in a big satellite of what mankind looks like, it's probably a guy who looks like me. And then at another show, as I'm doing a joke, I see someone in the back who looks like me with glasses. And I just pointed it out, and we had a big joke. And then after the show, another comedian walked up to him, shook his hand, and said, great show, man. This is getting out of hand. But yeah, my name's Brandon, but I found out recently that my dad wanted to name me Duran. That's right, the Duran. That one, that very one. But he denied that shit. He's like, no, it's just a unique name. Like, Dad, I have your record collection. You got 2 Duran albums. There's no denying you like Duran. It's like, might as well give me the middle name Duran too. Get it over with, right? There's no getting around it. It's like, where would my life be if my name was Duran? Like, I feel like I could be like a male model from Sweden. Duran. I'd probably just end up being that kid who brought a gun to school. Just like, who's hungry like the wolf now? But shit, that's how my dad's figured out my name. It's just like late 80s bands. Like, I could have been Toto. I could have been like Loverboy or fucking White Riot.
Or Michael Jackson.
Or Michael Jackson. I wouldn't mind that one. So I think about a lot of weird things, like, all the time. Probably because I smoke a lot of pot. But it's just things I don't think most people think about. Like, what if people never stopped growing? Like, what if we just kept going year by year, just inches and inches, you just keep going? Coffins would be huge. They'd be like stadiums. And like, there wouldn't be retirement homes anymore. You just have to like banish grandma to an island, like Godzilla or something. If you want to visit her, it's just like Jurassic Park, you gotta go on in a helicopter. You just rappel down and give her a kiss on the cheek. You just say, weird thoughts. It could happen. We don't know what's gonna happen in this world. And I believe in UFOs, and when I say that to people, they just make fun of me. Like, you believe in UFOs, you probably believe in unicorns. And I'm like, no, because unicorns are just horses on their birthday. I had a thought the other day, what would I do if a bear ate my face and I survived? Because I read a story of a man from Russia and a bear ate his whole face. Like, he's not just like missing an eye and a scratch mark, like all of it gone, like mouth, nose, eyes. It's just like a carved out face. Like, this bear just went to town, just like scooped it all out. And somehow this man survived. And they figured out that we can reconstruct this man's face. I'm sure when they told him that, he's just like, yep. Because he can't say anything, so he just... So he spent 7 years reconstructing this guy's face. And like, keep going, like all these horrible, painful procedures, like non-stop healing. And 7 years later, and it just looks like someone carved a face very crudely out of a ham and just slapped it on this guy. Like, I know it sounds bad, but like, yeah, you got a face, kind of. And it's like, oh... And I'm thinking, like, what if that happened to me? Like, would I say yes to a face like that? I'd say no. I think I'd let the no-face thing just heal, and I'd just, like, put on a big cloak and disappear into the woods. And I would become an urban legend. Just go down in history. Yeah, people can get famous, be in magazines and all that, but I'll be in children's fairy tales. Just be, like, skulking around the woods. I'll just come out at midnight. And I was like, come in and tap on little kids' windows and be like, a bear ate my face. I don't know, I have time to work on my catchphrase for bear face. I have to work on that. You guys got dreams? Are you a bunch of dreamers? I bet you. Yeah, we got one dreamer. My dream is to be on Wheel of Fortune. That's right. Round of applause for Wheel of Fortune. If you like Wheel of Fortune, yeah, keep clapping. Keep clapping. Clap for like a half hour. That's Wheel of Fortune. That's all it is. If you get really stoned and watch Wheel of Fortune, you realize there is far too much clapping on Wheel of Fortune. There's more clapping than not clapping. Like, they clap just for everything. It's like, about to spin the wheel, they clap. And like, while it's spinning, they're clapping. And then like, Pat says something, they clap. And that makes me think, because like, I realize the audience is probably just candid clapping and just like a clap button, just clap. But the poor contestants, they're up there like just clapping like the whole time. And I'm like, I don't think I can do that. Me and my friends challenge ourselves to the Wheel of Fortune clap challenge. You just clap whenever they clap. It's just really hard. I suggest you try it. But that's what's holding me back. That, and like anytime I might know the answer, I just scream it out. So it'd be really embarrassing if like halfway through the other guy's turn, I'm just like, tarantula soup! Because they're not very good at Wheel of Fortune.